All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to begin by giving all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers that are laboring and pushing this word in truth and sincerity and with charity. I'm the brother Abraham from the camp here in GMS Chicago, coming back at you with another lesson. Excuse me. This is a video from the elder apostle Tahar. Okay. His video is called "What's the GMS Take on Daniel's 12:1?" All right, and he goes into various topics, but obviously mainly concerning Daniel's 12 and Jacob's trouble, which were in, you could say, the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble. We haven't hit the peak of Jacob's trouble, but it's right around the corner if you're paying attention to the signs and events that are happening, not just here in America but worldwide. Okay. So off of um this AI that's part of YouTube. Just to summarize the video, right? Because the video is 46 minutes long. So it just gives us the key points to take away from the video, right? So here's a breakdown of the key points. Current global tensions. The speaker highlights recent events like China reportedly sending a secret plane with supplies to Iran and mysterious explosions in Iranian cities, right? Which they claim and report that they're gas leaks. But nobody really believes that, right? It says he interprets these events as signs of escalating global conflicts, particularly involving the US, China, and Russia. He also mentions the US playing with fire by going against Iran, given its allies, right? So all these global conflicts with these nations, US, China, Russia, obviously being the main ones because they're considered superpowers, right? With US claiming number one for the longest. But now we see many nations um building up their superpower um as far as nuclear weapons goes. Okay. Um for the longest time the US was feared and respected for its military might and power because their blessing is a sword, right? According to the scriptures. So now these other nations are starting to build up their nuclear power. All right. Um, and right now, what we see going on with the nations is them being set in place for World War III. All right. Let's get a few scriptures on that. First, let's get Zephaniah 3:8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." So this is what we, the elect, the hopeful elect, are waiting for the Lord to return and for him to rise up to the prey. Okay. Who's the predator? Esau's the predator, right? So the Lord's whole plan is to gather these nations, assemble these nations, so that he pours upon them his indignation. All right, so it's all the nations being gathered together, put in their place, and being set up for World War III, right? So there's a whole conflict going on in Iran. They want to um destroy Iran. They want to conquer Iran. They want to go to war with Iran. All right, they tell you that themselves with that famous video of this U.S. I don't know if he's a general, whatever, in which they wanted to go to war with 5 or 6 countries. I forget the exact number, and the last one was Iran. Okay, so everything that's going on now is no mistake. It's no accident. It's not random. All right, it's all designed. But this is all the Lord's master plan. Okay, which also, when we talk about these end times signs, we have to talk about what? The mark of the beast. Right? The video emphasizes that the mark of the beast just became mandatory worldwide before the ultimate destruction. The chip will be a global requirement for people to stay on the grid, and those who refuse will face persecution, right? So that's that new world order system in which you're going to need this mark of the beast to operate, to function in society, buy or sell. Okay, so that needs to take place before the grand destruction of Babylon the Great. All right. GMS interprets this as Yahweh Shai returning to take rulership, not just offering spiritual protection. They view him as a warrior king coming back in a lion-like spirit. Right? Let's get a scripture on that. Okay, let's get 1 Corinthians 15 and '24. It says, "Then cometh the end, when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God, even the Father, when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign till he hath put all enemies under his feet." So this is what the end, when he destroys Babylon the Great, his allies, and all of his enemies. Right? Read Psalms the 83rd chapter for the list of God's enemies. Right? And he's going to put down all rule and authority and power. Everybody is going to be under his feet, subject to him. Right? Let's get okay, since Psalms 47 and 3 and 2, it says, "For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet." Because what Israel will be that mountain that shall be over all these other mountains and hills. Okay. The scriptures say, "Why leap ye high hills?" Right? The Most High has chosen Zion unto Himself. So all these other nations are going to be subject under us, subdued under us. We're going to be the superpower of the earth. No one is going to come and try and take us over at any time. It's going to be forever, right? According to Daniel 2 and 44, right? This is going to be forever, a kingdom that shall never be destroyed. All right? You can't mess with a nation that has spiritual power, okay? With Yahweh Bashem Yahushai as their God. All right, so back to this here. It says, "Thy people," this refers exclusively to the Israelites only, specifically those of so-called Black, Latino, and Native American descent and scattered Israelites. Other nations referred to as heathens or Edom are not included in this salvation. All right. So Esau, according to Esau himself, they're not going to receive any mercy from the Most High. Okay, they're prophesied to be burnt up after they serve their punishment, their captivity. It says, "Time of trouble such as never was." This is linked to Jeremiah 30 and 7 and understood as global chaos, including race wars, economic collapse, and martial law. The speaker criticizes mainstream news for not showing the full extent of global unrest, right? Because they're all bought out, sold out, all right, and they can't let the whole people see everything. Even the whole Epstein thing, they just released more files, images, videos. I'm surprised they even did that, and because they ultimately decide what we get to see, don't see. But either way, their all their secrets are going to be exposed and brought to light. Okay, but all this is happening right now. Global chaos, chaos everywhere. All right, economic collapse, martial law. Right, ICE, what they're doing. Okay, it says nuclear destruction and Israelite deliverance. The video states that America, Babylon the Great, is central to this judgment, which will involve physical and national deliverance of the Israelites from destruction when Babylon is pelted with these missiles. The elect 144,000 and a great multitude of Israelites will survive and rule with Yahushai, leading to the restoration of Israelite supremacy. All right. Let's get Zechariah 13 and 8. It says, "It shall come to pass that in that land, that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein." So this land being America, all right, 2/3 of Israel will be cut off and die because they're not of the elect. Okay, now all Israel is of Israel. It says, "And I will bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, It is my people, and they shall say, The Lord is my God." Alright, this is when Isaiah 2 and 1, Micah 4 and 1 will begin to take place. Alright? We're gonna be over all the nations. They're gonna serve us and obey us, and the law, statutes, and commandments will be um the standard in the earth. And if you don't follow suit, well, guess what? You're gonna find out. Alright, it says Mark of the Beast timeline. The Mark of the Beast comes before and overlaps with Daniel 12:1. It is part of the beast system, leading to economic coercion and forced compliance with the chip, which intensifies Jacob's trouble. Daniel 12:1 marks the point where Michael intervenes to end the beast's reign, leading to the destruction of the beast system and the deliverance of Israel. Alright? So we're at the doors of all these things happening and taking place. Alright, AI, the chip, the collapse of this economy, which will bring in a new system. Alright, they tell you this themselves, that this is what they want to do. Alright. Alright, but that's pretty much it. You know, stay on our watch, keep doing what we're doing, and we should be okay, man. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Lord willing, this video was edifying as always. All honor, glory, and praises goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. The honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Until the next time, Shalom.